3 weeks ago, Google quietly changed the way search works, and it's the biggest change in 25 years. And if you run a local business, that's like a plumber or a law firm, a clinic, a contractor, the thing your entire online strategy has been built on for the last decade, it's being replaced as we speak. I'm talking about the local pack, that little box of three businesses at the top of Google. For years, getting into that box was the whole game. And right now, Google is swapping it out for something else entirely. Now, before you panic, and I can see some of you already reaching to check your rankings, I want you to take a breath because here's the part that nobody's telling you. This isn't the end of your business. It's a reset, and resets create winners. Hi there, it's Adrian Newman from Numero Uno Web Solutions, and I make videos that explain what exactly is happening in digital marketing in plain English. I don't use jargon or fear-mongering. So in this video, I'm going to do three things. First, I'm going to show you exactly what Google announced and what changed. Second, I'm going to show you why it hits service businesses harder than anyone else. And third, and this is the most important part, I'm going to give you 4 specific moves to make sure that your business still shows up when a customer goes looking. Stuff you can actually start this week. No fluff, so let's go. Okay, so what exactly happened? On May 19th, Google held its big yearly event, Google I/O, and they announced that something called AI mode is now the default way search works. Not a setting that you turn on, not a tab that you click, it's the default for everyone. And let me explain what that means in normal person terms. You know how you used to type something into Google and you get a list of blue links? You'd scroll, you'd click, you'd land on a website. Well, that was search for 25 years. Now, instead of a list of links, Google reads a bunch of websites for you, writes up an answer, and hands it to you right there on the page. You ask, it answers. You often never click a single website. Here's some key stats. On May 19th, 2026, Google made AI mode the default search experience worldwide. And that is the biggest change to search in 25 years. AI mode had already passed 1 billion monthly users at the time of the announcement, and over 60% of Google searches now end without a single click to any website. Now, you might be thinking, Adrian, I've heard about AI and search for a while now. What's the big deal this time? And that's a fair question. But here's the difference. Up until now, this was a test, an experiment Google was running on some searches. As of May 19th, it's the front door. It's how a billion people start looking for stuff, including your customers. And here's where it gets interesting for you specifically. For years, local search worked like this. Someone types best plumber in Toronto, and Google shows 3 businesses in a little box with the map. Stars, phone numbers, the works. If you were one of those 3, your phone rang. If you weren't, you're basically invisible. Getting into that box was like having a billboard on the busiest street in town. Every local marketing strategy on the planet was built around it. Well, that box is changing. On a lot of searches now, instead of 3 businesses, Google's AI writes a summary and names maybe 1 or 2. Sometimes it skips the box completely and just tells the person who to call. And here's a detail that should make every service business sit up straight. When the AI builds that little local answer, it pulls from a much smaller pool of businesses than the old box did. And it strips out the call button entirely. No tap to call. So if you're a plumber or an HVAC company that lives and dies by the phone ringing, that's one punch in a gut. AI answers now show up in 68% of searches in high intent local service categories. Plumbers, lawyers, dentists, clinics, real estate. The AI local pack pulled from far fewer businesses than the old 3-pack, roughly 5,900 versus 18,300, and it drops call buttons completely, and some businesses have reported 50% or greater drops in visibility as the AI pack takes over. And before someone tells me in the comments that it's not really 68% across all searches, well, you are right. It's lower. But that 68% number comes from a study of exactly your world. I'm talking about plumbers and lawyers and dentists and health clinics and real estate agents. The searches where somebody's ready to hire right now. So for you, that's the number that matters. Okay, deep breath, because there's actually some good news here. That AI answer Google writes, well, it doesn't make it up out of thin air. It can't. It pulls it from real sources, your Google business profile, your reviews, your websites, what other sites say about you. The AI is basically a really fast assistant reading the internet and summarizing what it finds out about you, which means the stuff that feeds the AI is the same stuff you've always controlled. Your profile, your reviews, clear information about what you do and where. You're not learning some brand new alien skill. You're making sure the information Google already has about you is clean, complete, and everywhere it needs to be. Here's some more key stats. Your Google business profile is the single biggest ranking factor you can actually control, about 32%, with reviews right behind it at 20%. Physical closeness, by the way, to the searcher matters even more, but you can't move your address, so you focus on what you can change. Reviews under 30 days old carry full weight. Reviews older than 6 months keep only 10 to 20%. So a business with 500 old reviews can rank below one with 50 reviews where 10 came in last month. You see that second stat? That's the one that surprises everybody. It's not about who has the most reviews. It's about who has the freshest ones. A steady trickle of new reviews beats a giant pile of old ones every single time. And that's the great news, because getting a few fresh reviews every month is completely in your control, starting today. So let's get into the moves. And there are 4 of them. Move number 1, and if you do nothing else, do this. Your Google business profile is now the number 1 thing the AI reads to decide whether to mention you. So it has to be complete and it has to be active. Complete means every field filled in. Your exact category, not contractor, for example, but the specific one that matches what you do. Every service listed out by name. A full description in plain language that says what you do, who you help, and where you are. Don't leave Google guessing, because if it has to guess, it's probably going to guess your competitor instead. And active means you're posting and adding fresh photos regularly. Remember, Google rewards businesses that look alive over businesses that set it up once and walked away. A photo from a recent job and 2 sentences once a week, that's about it. Move number 2. If you want the AI to mention you, you have to make your website easy to quote. And most service business websites are terrible at this. Not because they're bad, but because they were written to sound impressive instead of to answer questions. So here's the fix, and it's actually quite simple. Think about the actual questions your customers ask you before they hire you. For example, how much does a furnace replacement cost in my city? Or how do I know if I need a lawyer or just a paralegal? Or how long does a roof repair take? Write a page that answers each one and answer it in the very first sentence. I don't want you to do a long wind-up. Question, answer right away. Because that's exactly how the AI reads. It's looking for a clean, direct answer it can lift and put in front of the customer. Give it 3 paragraphs of throat clearing before you get to the point, and well, it moves on to the next site. But if you give it a clear answer up front, you might be the one it quotes. Move number 3, and this is the one your competitors are probably sleeping on. The AI doesn't just read your website. It reads the whole internet about you. Your reviews, directory listings, social media, what people say on forums, industry sites, all of it. So if the only place you exist online is your own website, you've got a ceiling. You're telling Google to trust me with no one backing you up. But when your business shows up consistently, that's the same name, same address, same phone number across Google, the reviews, directories, social media, anything that matters for your industry, your local listings, well, that consistently tells the AI that you're the real deal. So 2 practical things. 1, keep getting fresh reviews steadily and reply to all of them. A steady drip of new reviews beats a big pile of old ones every time. And 2, make sure your name and address and phone number are identical everywhere they appear online. Minor mismatches can even create doubt, and doubt is going to get you left out of the answer. Finally, move number 4 is a mindset shift, and it's the one that'll keep you sane through all of this. Stop measuring your marketing by traffic. Start measuring it by customers. Here's why. In the old world, more clicks meant more business, so you watched your traffic numbers. But in a world where AI answers the questions and the customer calls you without clicking around your site first, traffic goes down while business can stay exactly the same or even go up. So if you're still judging your marketing by website visits, and I know that some of you are, you're going to scare yourself for no reason. Watch the stuff that pays the bills instead. How many calls did you get? How many quote requests? How many booked jobs? That's the scoreboard now. The click was never the point. The customer was. Okay, let's bring it all together. Google made AI mode the default. The old 3-pack is getting absorbed into AI answers, and rankings going up no longer guarantees the phone rings. But you aren't powerless here. Far from it. So here's your plan for this week. Go fully complete and reactivate your Google business profile. Every single field, fresh photos, one post. Pick 3 real questions customers ask you and write a page that answers each one in the first sentence. Get your name, address, and phone number identical everywhere online and set up a steady system for fresh reviews. And I want you to change your scoreboard. Track calls, quote requests, book jobs instead of just traffic. Look, I know change like this feels scary, especially when you've spent years building up your spot on Google. But the businesses that come out ahead aren't the ones with the biggest budgets. They're the ones who saw the shift early and adjusted while everyone else was still panicking. Now you're one of them. Look, if this helped, please hit the subscribe button. I break down stuff like this every week in plain English for business owners who don't have time for the jargon. And if you want me to take a look at where your business actually shows up in all this, my info is in the description, or let me know in the comments. And honestly, that Google business profile is doing more heavy lifting now than it ever has. So if you only have time for one thing, I want you to start there. I made a full video walking through how to turn your Google business profile into your best performing marketing asset step by step. And it's the perfect next watch after this one. And you can see it right here.